The WWE Hall of Fame always draws controversy as fans wonder how certain superstars are inducted while others are not. Whether or not you agree with the selection process, and let us know if you figured it out, the Hall of Fame always creates lots of discussion amongst fans. So Wrestlelamia decided to start the discussion using a used Skynet computer we recently purchased on Craigslist. Here are Wrestlemania's WWE Hall of Fame predictions for the class of 2019. The Big Show. There's been rumor of The Big Show retiring for several years, but the WWE keeps him around for special occasions like the Royal Rumble and helping to get over other big men such as Braun Strowman. While Show hasn't had the most consistent push for someone his size, he's always delivered in the ring and worked hard to stay in shape, something difficult for someone his size and age. The Big Show would be a headliner for any Hall of Fame, so his inclusion depends on who else is in consideration for 2019. After his successful hip surgery, it's possible the big guy could continue wrestling for some time. When it does come time for induction, don't be surprised to see Mark Henry, Chris Jericho, or even The Miz do the honors. The Undertaker. Mark Calloway's name is bound to come up whenever the Hall of Fame is discussed, and fans are curious why he hasn't gone in yet. After his apparent retirement at WrestleMania 33, it seemed like he was a shoo-in for 2018, but amazingly wasn't. While some fans feel the dead man is tarnishing his legacy by continuing to wrestle, there's no doubt that many fans still love to see him in the ring, even if his entrance is longer than his actual match. There should be no question Vince McMahon is ready to induct him, and it's merely a question of when Taker feels he's ready. The Rock. Fans have wondered why the most electrifying man in sports entertainment isn't in the Hall of Fame yet, and it's commonly believed he could go in any year he wants. However, as we discussed in a recent video, The Rock is still willing to step into the squared circle, so a full retirement may be years away. The Rock is a headliner that WWE can keep as its Hall of Fame ace in the hole for years to come. Even better, the company can double dip with The Rock and include him in their celebrity wing. JBL. JBL made the transition from tag team act to singles main eventer, and although he's not at the level of a top-tier Hall of Famer like Shawn Michaels or Goldberg, his year-long run as world champion and lengthy role in the APA makes him a bona fide candidate. The problem is the public relations-sensitive WWE may not want to induct JBL since he's known for being a backstage bully and he's made inappropriate remarks during his career. Is he worthy? Yes, but there are plenty of other candidates who are more squeaky clean. If JBL does get in, expect Ron Simmons to induct him. Fans can only hope the former Farouk will have more to say than Professional wrestling's list of wrestlers who died young is something the WWE likes to sweep under the rug. That's why the company has been slow in inducting Hall of Fame-worthy individuals who died young, for fear of people saying, "Wow, that's a lot of dead wrestlers." With that in mind, don't expect to see more than one deceased wrestler unless it's in the legacy section. Bam Bam Bigelow. The Beast from the East headlined WrestleMania 11, worked WCW, the WWF, and ECW, and was one of the first big men to perform moves such as the moonsault. Add in Bigelow's unforgettable skull tattoos and his promos, and you have an easy pick. Lawrence Taylor could be called upon to induct him, but the WWE would probably go with a more image-friendly choice like Paul Heyman. Vader. Seeing Vader go in posthumously less than a year after his demise would be bittersweet at best. There's no denying his qualifications as a megastar in Japan and the United States, including 3 WCW World Championships. And while his WWF run wasn't everything he or his fans had hoped for, he still provided lots of fond memories for fans. Enough that the WWE occasionally brought him back for nostalgia purposes. Rumor has it that Vader lobbied hard for his induction over the last few years to the point that WWE was turned off. The WWE may wait a year before inducting him just so they don't look bad for waiting until he passed away to honor his career. Miss Elizabeth. With Randy Macho Man Savage having gone into the Hall of Fame, it's time to put the First Lady of Professional Wrestling in. Yes, Elizabeth's drug-related death is bad from a public relations perspective, but there is so much goodwill surrounding her that fans simply won't care, and chances are this will be enough to deflect the media's scrutiny as Elizabeth was long gone from WWF when she passed away. Chyna. Fans have been clamoring for Chyna's induction for years, and like many candidates, she's more than worthy, but has too much baggage to ignore. People have been shocked by inductees such as Jeff Jarrett, but Jarrett burnt bridges with Vinnie Mac. He didn't go into a downward spiral that included very public bouts with drug and alcohol abuse, as well as starring roles in several adult videos. Is Chyna going in the WWE Hall of Fame someday? The answer is yes, but you can be sure the WWE is going to put it off for as long as possible, hoping to let the passage of time cloud the public's memories. Rob Van Dam. Last year, the WWE honored the Dudley Boys, a team that moved from its fame in ECW to national fame in both the WWF and TNA. While ECW has had many wrestlers who found moderate success on the national level, few individuals, particularly those who aren't on the WWE's hit list, can compare to RVD, a man who provided consistently excellent matches and even won a world championship. RVD's love for weed shouldn't be a big deterrent given Snoop Dogg's induction into the celebrity wing, and the only thing keeping him out is the WWE might be saving him to headline during an off year. Tommy Dreamer. Like RVD, Dreamer is one of several ECW originals who deserve to go into the Hall of Fame, not only for their ECW accomplishments, but for contributing to the WWE. Dreamer's WWE career never reached the same heights as RVD, but his loyalty to the company and lengthy run there warrants inclusion. Dean Malenko. Dean Malenko fits in well as one of wrestling's most technically sound workers and the epitome of an undercard wrestler who could make opponents look good. While Malenko is best known for his work in WCW, including acclimated matches in the Cruiserweight division and a stint as a member of the Four Horsemen, he worked for the WWF in the ring and continues to work behind the scenes. Bruce Pritchard. Bruce Pritchard is still remembered for his role as the evil TV evangelist Brother Love, a character who helped advance numerous big angles on his talk segment, The Brother Love Show. Behind the scenes, Pritchard worked closely with the WWF and WWE in developing storylines, something he discusses every week on his podcast Something to Wrestle With and his WWE Network series Something Else to Wrestle With. Pritchard is no longer in the WWE doghouse, so this could be the year to induct Brother Love. Tugboat. The WWE has had some goofy but nonetheless much beloved characters who have entered the Hall of Fame, and Tugboat immediately comes to mind when fans think of inductees such as Koko Beware, the Bushwhackers, and Hillbilly Jim. Younger fans may not remember, but Tugboat received a huge push in 1990 as part of Hulk Hogan's feud with Earthquake, and although his claim to fame is the infamous Shockmaster incident, his time in the Natural Disasters tag team makes him more than a flash in the pan or a stumble through the wall. Christian. Although Christian's singles career didn't rise to the same level of Edge's, it's difficult to make an argument that he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. You see a superstar who excelled in several tag teams, including the career-making team Edge and Christian, and held numerous singles belts, including world championships. Naturally, Edge would induct Christian, and fans will count themselves lucky if the duo give the fans with the benefit of flash photography a chance to take their picture. Thanks to its Raw guest host and guest star program, the WWE has a veritable trash heap of Z-grade celebrities to dig through to find the occasional B-lister or A-lister. Thus, there's no shortage for the future, but you can be certain the WWE would prefer an Ozzy Osbourne to a Kevin Federline or a Hugh Jackman to a Jared Fogle. Remember that one? We're sure the WWE hopes you don't. Here are two names to consider for 2019. Shaquille O'Neal. The WWE's celebrity wing gives the company what they want, some mainstream exposure to hype the showcase of the Immortals. One look at the celebrity wing tells you that anyone who's had a cup of coffee in the company could go in. While it's possible we could get a posthumous induction for Clara Where's the Beef Peller, our money is on Shaq. The NBA legend made just enough appearances to count, and while the fans are still mad they never got a one-on-one match between Shaq and the Big Show, the WWE would love the publicity. Cyndi Lauper. Other than Mr. T, it's difficult to imagine any celebrity as worthy of induction as Loopy Lauper. Cyndi Lauper's involvement with the WWF catapulted the company into the mainstream, and more importantly, a young demographic, thanks to her role in the Brawl to End It All and the War to Settle the Score. While many fans feel she's worthy, the WWE tends to put celebrities in who are more familiar with contemporary audiences. The WWE could have one of its women's wrestlers induct her and tie in Lauper's pioneering music with the current WWE women's movement, but with Hulk Hogan's reinstatement into the WWE Hall of Fame and history with Lauper, he makes more sense. The WWE has honored some fantastic factions and terrific tag teams, and this year should be no different. Degeneration X. WCW had the Bad Boys of the New World Order, while the WWF had DX, the contingent that pushed the envelope during the Monday Night War. Unlike the NWO, DX didn't go through endless lineup changes that had fans wondering when the Young Stallions would don the black and white. DX had two successful lineups of Shawn Michaels, Triple H and Chyna, and the larger contingent of Triple H, X-Pac, and the New Age Outlaws. Inducting DX would be a good way to sneak Chyna in without focusing too much on her troubled past. The Hart Foundation. Bret Hitman Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart were the gold standard of heel tag teams during the second golden age of tag team wrestling, i.e. the 1980s. Bret's solo work was rightly honored years ago, but the Hart Foundation is a great tag team more than worthy of induction. The biggest problem would be finding one of their peers from the 80s to induct them who aren't dead or suing the WWE for a concussion-related injury. The Nasty Boys. The 1990s wasn't always a good time for fans of tag team wrestling, but Jerry Sags and Brian Knobbs always shined regardless of their opponents and regardless of whether they worked as heels or babyfaces. Lengthy runs in WWF and WCW cemented their legacy, and a Hall of Fame induction would be a worthy nod to this off-the-wall but entertaining team. Either former manager Jimmy Hart or a current eclectic WWE team could induct them. Jim Cornette. Barring a Cornette meltdown, and you can never rule that out, this should be the year the Louisville Lip goes into the Hall of Fame. Long considered one of the greatest managers in history, Corny has contributed behind the scenes as the promoter of Smoky Mountain Wrestling, his time in WWF Creative, and his work as a color commentator. His appearance in 2017 to induct the Rock and Roll Express suggests he could be brought back. Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is going into the WWE Hall of Fame, but what's the rush? He could still have a role to play as someone's mouthpiece, as it's likely Brock Lesnar is leaving WWE soon. Heyman's not out of the question, but Cornette is likely to go first if Heyman is still active. Heyman has several possible people to induct him from his ECW days. It's just a matter of finding one who is talking to him. So, after putting the nominees through, here is our prediction for the 2019 WWE Hall of Fame. The Undertaker, Christian, Rob Van Dam, Dean Malenko, Bruce Pritchard, Miss Elizabeth, Jim Cornette, Degeneration X, and Celebrity Wing Cyndi Lauper. Well guys, there you have it, Wrestlemania's picks for the 2019 WWE Hall of Fame. Are there any that you disagree with? Be sure to leave your comments and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of our fantastic videos.